Welcome back to Stauffer Garage, guys. On today's episode of Disaster Car Detailing, we have ourselves a Chevy Cobalt back here that is completely trashed on the inside. It's never been cleaned, obviously. You guys can tell this thing is in need of some serious work. So smash that subscribe button down below if you're new. Turn on those notifications. Thumbs it up. Let's get started. This is why you don't eat McDonald's French fries. These fries still look perfect, and from what I've been told, this car has been sitting for the last 8 months. No mold. That's when you know it's bad to eat these.
The one thing that I'm thinking about this whole time as I'm removing all of this stuff from this back seat is I'm wondering what these stains are and what caused them, because typically, you know, once we get the UV light out, bodily fluids are the only things that glow. So when we get to that part of this video, you guys can guess what do you think this stuff is. So with last week's giveaway winner listed in the description box below, I want to do another giveaway of Fox Clean detailing products for you guys. And because 2020 is finally almost over, with 2021 right around the corner, I want you guys to comment down below where is the one place you want to travel to this year, because I am crossing my fingers that Corona goes away and we all can travel again.
Wow.
Whenever I start these details, I always look forward to seeing what's underneath the front driver and passenger seats, because there's always going to be some sort of goodies, some sort of stain that you didn't expect, and this one does not let us down with showing us some lovely stains on this carpet. Now with the carpets as nasty as they are, and with it still being cold in Ohio, pressure washing the carpets are out of the question, but I do want to remove this rear seat bench to, one, see what is underneath it, but two, it also gives me more access to the carpet along that edge line between the seat and the carpet, and making sure that I can get all of this part of the carpet clean. And if you're looking to pick up any of the detailing products that I use in my videos, I always have them listed in the description box below, especially all the Fox Clean detailing products, so any microfiber towels or brushes. Those are all listed there, and I'm still running the insane pricing that I've been running all of this month. So make sure you head on over there and pick up your detailing supplies after this video. So one thing that happened in this point in the video is I actually did not press record when I removed his center console area, but this is what I found after I removed this whole shifter cover and armrest cover around the e-brake. One thing for sure about this car is I don't think floor mats were used majority of the time. I think they were put in after most of the damage was done to these carpets. And with these being a light color carpet, there's really not a whole lot you can do besides pressure washing them and then trying to dye them afterwards to get that light brown tan color that they were originally from the factory. So like I said before, pressure washing is not going to happen for these carpets, but we're going to extract them and do several passes to try to get them as clean as possible. But I can assure you by the end of the video, when you see the before and after shots, they definitely came out looking much better than they did when we started. So in my sprayer, I'm using super hot water along with my typical extraction fluid and powder that I use, but I'm also adding a mild degreaser to it as well, because I do believe that there is an oil that is in this carpet as well that I want to make easier to remove, especially with subsequent passes. And for the extraction portion, it is just, again, hot water being used to make sure that I rinse the carpets thoroughly. Majority of drill brush sets that you buy do come with a flat circular one, a small circular one, but then they come with these cone shaped ones, which do come in handy, especially in these corners of carpet or when you're doing wheels or your exhaust pipes. They're very good at helping out with those specific spots, but just be careful that when you use them, it will literally fling crap everywhere. So if you're going to do carpets, do them first, so that way it doesn't spray it all over clean door panels or dashboards or anything like that, because it is going to happen. So when I detailed this car, the one thing that was going through my mind the whole time was these crank windows, manual mirrors, and manual locks takes me back to my first car. Yeah, it's just a complete nostalgia moment because I love the simplicity of these manual components, because you don't have to chase down electrical gremlins, you don't have to chase down what solenoid it is, you don't have to chase down any of that stuff. It's a really easy thing to fix. If you've ever had crank windows in any of your cars, I think this definitely tells how old I am, but if you've owned a car with crank windows, let me know in the comments below. Removing your center console is actually fairly simple. It's usually about 3 or 4 different screws. There's not a whole lot that goes into holding it together. So if you need to remove it, you'll be surprised with the kind of stuff and the kind of dirt you find underneath it, especially coins. A lot of people have been asking in the last couple videos what this is, and this is an ultrasonic parts cleaner where it takes an all-purpose cleaner, heats it up, and then vibrates using sound waves the different parts in there to get them clean. And you can see the dirt coming off of them. And the best part is it's kind of one of those things where you set it, forget it, come back, and the parts are cleaned, and all you have to do is dry them off. Now, if you didn't know, the black light is showing things in green that are considered to be bodily fluids, so any organic matter. And typically, you see this sort of thing in like Gordon Ramsay, showing you hotel stuff. Yeah, this is all organic matter showing up in green here and showing how dirty these seats are, but I can assure you that we'll get those all taken out. Now, to start out the seat cleaning process, I'm just going to be using the steam cleaner on half of this upper seat to kind of show you a side-by-side of how much dirt it can just remove by doing that. The best part is steam is obviously hot, so it kills any sort of bacteria, mold, or viruses, or any sort of things on the seat whatsoever, but it does a good job at getting the seat cleaned, as you can see here. Now that we have the steaming out of the way, I'm going to be using my extraction fluid with just this typical powdered rinse that I use for cleaning fabric. And then I'm going to be using my hot water and my extractor to suck out the remaining dirt that the steam cleaning process didn't remove. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to listen to music or podcasts for this detail in particular. And for this detail, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with Post Malone, which I don't know how many of you guys have listened to that podcast, but honestly, it was absolutely hilarious just because of the context of the whole video and the whole podcast in general. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know why it was funny, but if you haven't, it's definitely worth the listen. Another great benefit of using steam as a first step part of the cleaning process here is it helps get rid of a lot of the oils too, because it does heat those up, and then using the microfiber towel just to kind of dab it and get that cleaned off. So any oily substances can kind of get removed before you use your extractor. Now the worst seats in the car obviously were this back row, which without even using the black light, you can see how many of the stains are kind of protruding from the surface, and these are completely dry. So yeah, definitely using the steam first to get the heavy spots out of the way. Anything that looks like lip gloss oil or anything like that, that's kind of, obviously looks like an oily type residue. And then we're going to be using the extractor obviously to get the remaining of those stains out. And this extractor pour is just from half of this seat cushion. As you can see in the above shot here, one side's cleaner than the other, and this is just from that one side. Now this is also one of the reasons why I like removing the center console or any interior bits that I can, is because it's always easier to clean those on a table where you can obviously see them better. You can clean the other sides of them if there's any dirt on there, but it also makes it a lot easier on your back to, you know, sit down in a chair, sit in front of the table and kind of get these things clean instead of inside the vehicle. Now, because I know you guys love your mystery goo stuff, I went ahead and zoomed in on this certain portion of the coin tray and slowed it down a little bit so that way you could enjoy the satisfaction of getting this portion of the cup holder clean. Now, I've mentioned the pet detailing brush is going to be coming out in the next month or so, so I'll have pre-orders open as soon as I can, but I'm also excited that the whole line of sprays that I'm going to be launching is going to be coming soon as well. So I'm targeting the mid to end of January for a launch date, so be on the lookout for when that whole line drops. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I'm giving away another set of Fox Clean detailing products, and it's for my subscribers that comment down below, where's the one place, as soon as all the travel and everything kind of comes back, where's the one place you want to go to in 2021? Because we're so close to getting 2020 out of the way, and I'm so happy that it's finally over, because honestly, it's been one hell of a year for all of us, and I'm excited for all of us to have a better 2021 and start the new year off fresh. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This was a great detail to, film, and I had a lot of fun transforming this car, and I was really happy with how the seats turned out, especially with how nasty they were, and kind of bringing this car back to life. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, give this video a huge thumbs up, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.